Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday, the 8th of January. So, let's look firstly at the news events which may affect trading today. We'll start off looking, right, so Wednesday the 8th, we've got the ADP data out later. Inflation, should have already seen that, should have updated. There we go, let's update the data. So we've already seen inflation for Australia sit up there, still hanging in there, higher than forecasts and higher than expectation. So that remains a bit of a problem, and that should see a bit of a boost to the Aussie dollar, because it just means interest rates will be left higher for longer. Okay, aside that, and today we've got ADP non-farms later. We've got an FOMC speaker. Let's just see if we can see what he's speaking about. Due to speak about economic lectures. Okay, lectures. It could still affect the markets there. So it's about 1:30ish. FOMC meeting minutes later on this evening, so 7 o'clock. It's not a great deal there. Right, let's get on and look at the technicals, starting off with the euro dollar. And we have had now a reaction, or yesterday we had a proper reaction. We'd had a previous day with a bit of a reaction, but it was looking like it wanted to get back up there yesterday. But it had a full reaction to the monthly pivot there. We just still above the weekly pivot. A break of that for me, the market becomes more bearish, and I'm looking on the short side. I'm sort of waiting for the short side. I've got an alert underneath there ready to go. It's broken the little upward trend that we've had there, and it's already on the lower time frames put a lower high, and we'll see it easier here. There we go, there's your little lower high. We'll see how what happens here. There's a classic little double top there. It's done a good chunk of that move already, the expectation from that double top, but there we go. Patience there, and maybe we can look to maybe able to find something on the lower time frames to jump aboard on, but it does look quite weak at the moment. But I won't just jump on until post 8 o'clock. Okay, pound US dollar. So the pound US dollar, very similar picture. Yesterday we came short of the monthly pivot though, didn't quite get there. And again, it's looking a very similar picture, looking at the break for the weekly pivot. Maybe as simple as something like that is put the lower highs are confirmed in here, but I do want to see price below that weekly pivot. I don't want it just coming back and bouncing back off of it again. So it does look soft again there. US dollar yen. US dollar yen, well, it broke through yesterday a little bit there. It's probably holding up, the yen's holding up better than some of these other markets that have really given away, but there was mention of intervention or taking measures to avoid the yen getting down particularly weak. Well, it's not far back. If I just take this to a weekly picture here, it's not far away from the near-term highs that we saw previously. So if they're going to do something, they're going to need to start at least talking about it, and it's normally the rhetoric that does it more than the action. Anyway, or as well as the action. I think people have seen them cry wolf too many times. For now, I don't have anything on this, although it start to look like it's bouncing again off of that. That's off the daily pivot. Actually, it's coming back off. Okay, Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar hasn't got the kick I thought. I hadn't looked at the chart before I looked at the news, and that's not really what I'd have expected. I'd expected a little bit more of a with a higher inflation, something a little bit more, but it too is looking soft. Which when you're looking at this, I've been looking all week at the potential, but again yesterday it was pushing up, and well, it's moving off its weekly pivot. It may be that we get an opportunity today again. I'd like to see it below its weekly pivot. Sorry, it ran into its monthly pivot, not its weekly. If I mentioned weekly instead of monthly. Anyway, we're seeing the reaction. It looks like it could come over some more this morning. Again, just a bit of patience needed. US dollar CAD, again, reaction to a monthly pivot here, properly in there. I was looking for more downside on this, to be fair. I've still got, I'll take this out of the way because it's a little bit, but I was really just looking for the depth of this channel to fully work its way out. Might still do it, but at the moment, with the way the dollar's strengthening again, might be a harder time. As I said yesterday, it surprised me with Trudeau resigning, etc. The uncertainty of the political scene there, that we might have seen a bit more of a reaction in the markets here, but well, we may still see that. It is at this stage here, I'm just looking at it, the short time frame, looking at an hourly chart with daily pivots on. It's bounced off the daily, around the daily pivot there, 50 MA, etc. This could continue through today. Could be a bit of a swing trade. I wouldn't try and necessarily trade it on the shorter time. Yes, the R1's always a target, but it might develop into something more. So again, looking reasonable there. New Zealand dollar, pretty much like the Aussie really. Just air kissed the monthly pivot there, looking soft. Looks like there's possible swing shorts on this. Again, let's watch it. It needs to break that weekly pivot. Again, low little flags here, lower lows almost in on this here. But a break of that weekly pivot would give us the lower high even, and the lower low. Right. The US dollar Swissy, well, this is continuing in its march to the upside here. Swissy not yielding a thing yet. Well, not gaining a thing, should I say. Dollar not yielding here, pushing back up again. Solid movement to the upside. So, I haven't necessarily got a trade on that so much. Looking, I'm thinking the euro etc. is a lot easier. This has already gone quite a bit. Okay, I will just look at the euro yen. That's come off again as well. It's looking soft here again. A break of these lows will confirm a lower high, and maybe a rollover. It's looking in the softer area at the moment. Right, quickly look through the other markets here. Start off with gold. Gold, well, it's become quite a mess here at this moment. So quite a mess, certainly quite a mess. It is at the moment. Looking like it neither wants to go one way or t'other at this stage. It's maybe urging towards the upside in the lower time frames, and well, intermediate as well, I guess. There's high lows through there, a bit short of the high yesterday. Just consolidating somewhat in the bigger scheme of things. Nothing for me to immediately be trading. Oil, well, oil yesterday held up pretty well, and it's back to its, just remember which one that is. That's its yearly pivot that's sitting there. So it's just on the underside of the yearly pivot. It's broken the quarterly, the weekly. Hasn't come and tested the weekly, but it seems already off to the races here. I can't see an immediate entry that I would like off of this, but as ever with oil, I'm looking at it from in the afternoon personally. Just there's better volumes going through it. We're into that quarterly pivot there on the dailies, aren't we? Sorry, yearly pivot on from the end of day chart. I'm just thinking here what would make it more. See where it is. It's just so much potential resistance around there. We've got the monthly R2 sitting just above it, and the 500. Sorry, the 200 moving average sitting there. Daily 200 moving average just above it. So it's got a lot of resistance sitting in there, but it might come into something. We looked at yesterday S&Ps. That came off yesterday. It really is in this well, triangle basically. We looked at this yesterday as well. So it's got a bit ugly. Now triangles should, the purpose, like many like wedges and everything else, they should go in the direction of the bigger move. However, they're unreliable. So I don't hold out too much either way, but if you were trading it on the shorter time frame here, the trend line across the low could be the target effectively, but getting into the trade, well, your choices. But I don't like being on the short side of these equity markets at the moment. I think they've got too much potential to continue. I'll just look at the Dow Jones. If you are looking at one, the Dow Jones is possibly the better option on the short side. Maybe the S&Ps and the Nasdaq on the long side. Right, that's pretty much it. Let's look at the FTSE though quickly. So the FTSE is a mess as ever. I was reading something about the FTSE over the last day or two in terms of it's just, well, I've said this recently, it's not really going anywhere, and we've had these sort of steps where for a whole year it's barely moving, it gets a bit of a surge and then barely going anywhere, and it may be that many of the bigger companies are sort of moving to US markets. ARM, even ARM, when they floated again, they floated in the US and not in the big tech markets, and not as opposed to the FTSE, and we're just seeing that sort of lack of movement there, and for sure technically it's not showing particularly good. Even the DAX is looking better. Solid day up, the upside yesterday. Maybe we've got some more follow through today. It's just consolidating where it is. Nice move back to its daily pivot. Be interesting to see if it breaks that sort of on my chart here, the 2333 area, somewhere in that region. Right, that's pretty much it for me. I'm done for this morning. I wish you a great day's trading, and I will catch you tomorrow morning. Take care. Bye for now.